We've all heard the horror stories. The game's lost 80% of its population. There's no coming back. Even the dreaded phrase, Lost Ark is dead. Well, after a bit of a delay and much anticipation, the Smilegate team is here, and they're saying, hold on just one second. Hey there friends, it's Kodiak here. Welcome back to Legacy Gaming. Today, we're diving into Lost Ark and breaking down the long-awaited roadmap and what it means for the future of the game. Lost Ark came out of the gates swinging and saw one of the most successful launches of any online game ever. There's no denying the success, but you also have to acknowledge that the population has been declining. This happens with MMOs, and without a clear plan forward, it's hard to keep active players invested long term. That all changed today with the introduction of the NA-EU roadmap, a blueprint into the future and what's in store, at least in the short term, for Lost Ark. We're going to take this in chronological order since I'm sure you'd rather know what's coming sooner rather than later. Now right off the bat, let's be clear, there is no hard release date on any of this content yet, but we expect it to come mid-April, around the time when the monthly login calendar is set to end, which looks to be around April 14th. First up is the introduction of a new class, the Glaivier. This is the Lance Master Martial Artist class from the Korean version of the game, and it's safe to say this is the class a majority of players have been hoping to play. Now I get it, this is yet another melee class being added into the mix, with classes like the Summoner and Arcana still on the back burner, but it's hard to ignore the fervor surrounding this particular class. The Glaivier is a stance-dancing melee class, able to swap between focus and flurry stances. Flurry stance allows her to unleash a furious barrage with her shorter spear, while her focus stance allows her to use her glaive to land lethal sweeping attacks. Build variety allows players to lean heavily into one stance for a more targeted approach to combat, or split the difference for a more balanced playstyle. Now alongside the Glaivier will also be a new Fightin' Power Pass. If you don't want to level up a new class, or a different class of your choosing, you'll have that option. This will most likely be a freebie to all players, as it's been with the other regions of the game, but without direct confirmation, it's impossible to say with entire certainty. Next on the table is South Vern, a new continent that continues players' Tier 3 experience. This requires item level 1340 to begin, introduces players to new characters and new quests. There's already a prerequisite quest in the game that you can complete right now located in Vern that will begin the process of unlocking South Vern when the time is right. South Vern is one solution to the biggest issue currently facing progression-focused players, resource drought. The area will likely introduce a new source of weekly resources. Some examples include repeatable quests that give you materials that allow you to enter a portal dungeon, which is basically a smaller chaos dungeon. These reward a new currency which can be used to purchase large cases of honing materials, legendary skill runes, and more. South Vern also means the potential introduction of the Bridge, essentially a T3 variant of the Tower, another endgame activity that, when complete, injects even more materials into the game per week. The Bridge is often talked about by the veterans of the Korean and Russian version of the game because this isn't a level-gated activity. You select your tier, and if you beat it, you get the rewards and everything else below it. This is a challenging bit of content that demands you have an optimized build and rewards you with one-time roster-bound materials and items. South Vern is a stepping-off point, a way for players to push the gear score 1450 as they prepare for Voltan, but at this point, the team isn't saying exactly what's coming with the South Vern content, but we don't feel like we're far off base with our assumptions given the way the content has played out in other regions. As players are checking out the new class and exploring South Vern, all eyes will be on the horizon and the next update coming shortly after in May. The team has a robust list of things they hope to roll out. Again, another new class, the Destroyer. This is a warrior class that wields a giant hammer that deals catastrophic damage, has incredible CC, and some healthy utility baked into his core moveset. Again, sorry ranged players, but you'll have to wait just a bit longer for those additional classes clearly still on the back burner. Trial Guardian raids will also be introduced. This is a weekly rotating activity where players will attempt to defeat 3 Trial Guardians. Each week, one Guardian will rotate out, and one new Guardian will rotate in. While there is an item level requirement, the real challenge here is something called the Scale of Harmony, which adjusts the player's item level appropriate to the enemy they're fighting, making item level a near non-factor. Players will also be restricted from using the Battle Workshop to refill their battle items mid-fight. Of course, with greater risk comes greater reward, and if defeated, players can claim a wider variety of items and materials. Trial Guardian raids can be completed once a week and rewards roster-bound items. Now, these two things, the Destroyer and Trial Guardian raids, are all but guaranteed come May, but there is even more slated for release if the team feels the community is ready for the additional content to drop. On the heels of an overwhelming launch with all 3 tiers of content available from the start, the team admits they want a more even rollout of additional content at a more comfortable pace based on the community's needs. 2 additional things are on the table for May. The first is the Descaluda Guardian Raid. This is an item level 1450 encounter and is the most powerful Guardian introduced into the game to date in the NA/EU version of the game. The second piece of potential content is the Voltan Legion Raid. This would be the first Legion raid introduced into the NA/EU and a fairly exciting bit of group content. These encounters are very difficult team-based activities that require coordination to overcome, as the fight features unique abilities and intricate mechanics. Voltan is an 8-man encounter that requires item level 1450, and if you want to get a taste of what's in store, there are plenty of videos from the other regions already circulating around YouTube. Alongside the major content additions, there will also be a number of smaller, less sexy improvements to the game that feature quality of life changes and new integrations of familiar features. Things like the login rewards will most likely be reset to coincide with the launch of the new content, as well as the introduction of new horizontal activities to further inject more items and materials into the game. No word on what those are at this point. The team is also improving the co-op experience surrounding secret maps. Soon, all 4 members will be able to submit a map to get rewards with one run. Smaller changes and new features will also include things like a way to check daily and weekly content participation in a new menu, UI updates, improved party finder and party invite functionality, updated loot dismantling, new market and auction house changes, and some small fun updates that give the player the ability to summon randomly favorited mounts, as well as the introduction of new hairstyles for players that like to min-max their players' physical features. Needless to say, there is a lot on the table, and that begs the question, is it enough to entice current players to stay and attract new and potentially returning players to Arcasia? It's a tough question to parse, and I don't think there's any one thing that's going to be the silver bullet at this point. The game will continue to hopefully get better adjusted based on the previous injection of content and work towards aligning with the Korean and Russian versions of the game, a goal the developers have been clear about, but will it be enough? I'm not one gifted with foresight, so I will leave it to you, our community, to let us know in the comment section if Lost Ark's roadmap has left you feeling good, bad, indifferent, or otherwise. Feel free to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for checking out another Lost Ark video here on Legacy Gaming. We seriously appreciate your support, and if you want to follow along with more Lost Ark content, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and keep it right here for more videos in your feed. If you are on US East Regulus and you want to be part of one of the largest Lost Ark guilds in North America, you can join one of our 30 Legacy Gaming guilds. Just check out the Discord link below and sign up. Finally, if you like everything we're doing here on the channel and you want to support us even more, you can do so by becoming a member. For just a couple bucks, you're helping Livid and I achieve our dreams of becoming full-time content creators. Check out that link below to learn more. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.